Let's say something else before we say, hey, what up, everyone? I'm Sinnycool, and this is EverQuest Project 1999. And today we're on the green server. On the level 14, wizard. Going back into Norath, going back into Western Karana. Just did the bandits, got a bunch of sashes, just traded presents back and forth, made a bunch of money, bunch of plat. Forget how much it was in total. Like, I probably didn't tell y'all last time, but I think it was like 250 plat or something like that, just off of that one little session, which is a lot when you're level 14, 13, you know? The blue diamond and the jacinth and, the soul pots that I kept, and we've traded back and forth once. I'm not making it like, oh, we've been sharing soul pots for years now. No, I mean, I gave him one. I mean, I feel like we got them together, so like if he needs one, boop, you know. So got a bunch of cool stuff from the gifts is all I'm trying to say, and made a bunch of plat. Bandit sashes were like, they were okay. I think it's more about plat than it's about experience with the sashes. Like the Null Fangs, they're more about experience and like chunk and experience, and the bandit sashes are like cool. You get some experience, but they're not as good. They're good for plat, though. I forget what I got. I got, like, bronze weapons, I think. I don't even remember the dude that I gave them to. Like, maybe I'll show you in this video. I'm not sure. This guy caught me right before I was about to gate. And I'm like, sure, man, I'll bind you. I'll give you a little bindy poo. But, yeah, I have some exciting news today. As far as my account goes, kinda. Been playing a little bit more. I'm trying to wrap up this, like, new account playthrough on Gems of War, and then I'll probably be playing more EverQuest after that, and more of my main account of Gems of War, but I know y'all don't care about that, but like I've been going hard at this new account, trying to help beginners on that game and everything, so I had to play that every day for like an hour or two. It's kind of taken away a little bit from my EverQuest time, but it's almost over, so we'll get back to playing the game more every day. I've been kind of playing my Shadow Knight, just killing like a green guard that gives experience and drops an 11 plat longsword like here or there. I'll dad camp that. But yeah, exciting news. I did get the spell, Shroud of Death. Y'all helped me. You guys are awesome. Shout out to y'all. I think the person's name was, it's hard, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, dude. But it's like Coco or Koku or something like that. Kokua, I think it was. You'll be on a video soon. Like these videos, remember guys, they're like, this is from almost 2 weeks ago. So if you're on a video, like in this one, Utel's on this one. And I shouted him out like last week, and he was actually there like 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? So if you're on a video, you might need to stay tuned for a couple of weeks before you see yourself. Because I like to record a decent amount of footage, and then I try to break them up a little bit and release them a little bit at a time type of stuff. So yeah, Kukau or something like that. Sorry, bro. Came through with the Shroud of Death spell. We were in the Warrens, so that's what y'all have coming soon. The Warrens, which was fun. I like it. I'm glad I went, and I'm kind of glad I went when I did. You guys also in the comments were like, hey, you should probably go right now. Don't wait till you're 16. I went when I was 14. Like, I was about to ding 15. I was pretty much 15. I only needed a couple of kills to get to 15. But I was able to go at 14, con some stuff and get a couple of kills before I turned 15. But you'll be seeing that soon. Probably the next video. It might be actually tomorrow. If you're watching this on when it releases on Wednesday, then the next video I do might be the Warrants. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, we got the Shroud of Death. Also, Dagda was there at the Warrens. Like, it was like a freaking, like, everybody knew I was going to be there. So I felt like I met a couple of y'all, at least 2 or 3 of y'all were there at the Warrens when I was there. And, yeah, it was a good experience. I liked the Warrens. We're going to be doing some more content on the Warrens, some more footage on the Warrens. We'll probably do at least, I don't know how many videos it's going to be, but we're going to do at least 2 or 3 sessions there. We found a good spot. So you'll see the video tomorrow, but we get in there, there are people there, like you guys, a couple of y'all were there, but you know me, I'm not trying to power level or anything. Like, I'll take some buffs. I'm not going to ask, but if you give me buffs, I'm not going to decline. But if, like he had offered to show us around, I'm like, I'd rather just kind of wander around myself. And, it did get a little hairy. There's places in the Warrens where if you go the wrong way, you're going against like level 20 stuff when you're level 14, 15. But there's also like some greens, and you have to kind of go the right way to find your spot in there. But seems like it's kind of like a level maybe 12 to 25-ish or something zone. So as long as you can get in there, I would say about the level we're at. There's definitely some green stuff at the front, but I don't know if I'd. It depends, If you're over there, if you're an erudite and you go in at level 10 or 12 or something, you'll probably be good. But I wouldn't recommend like traveling all the way there, just to make sure you get there early or something. Like we went there at about the right time. I think even level 16 would have been fine because there is some higher level stuff in there. But yeah, we did the Warrens. It was fun. You'll see that tomorrow most likely. Today we're doing the Scarecrows, which they're yellow, some are red. What was I here? Level what did I say, 14? So I'm level 14 here, and these Scarecrows are kind of like yellow and white and red. There is a couple of blues. So this camp might not be like, if I was going to solo here, I would not be soloing at this level. Aldu was soloing these, and he was level 19. So that's probably more closer to what level you should be to solo them. I think Trey actually was soloing them too at like level 15 or 16. So that's about the range for these Scarecrows. I would say probably get your 16 spells, and you'll be pretty good to do 16 to 20, 16 to 19, 15 to 19, something like that. 14 is a little bit too low, but I got a duo. So if you're in a duo or trio, maybe 14, 13, 15, something like that. If you are solo, I would say maybe wait till you get your 16 spells or whatever around there. He's a Necro. Necros are the best. So he can do it at 15. He's got loam encrusted. I've come to find that he's got some pretty good stuff on. So a Necromancer, Ixar Necromancer with decent gear, is able to solo here at 15. But it's a pretty good spot. I don't know if I'd recommend it over the Bandits, but he says it's really good experience. So, and they're not like social. It's not like a dangerous spot either. As long as you can handle them, you're pretty good. Plus, they look cool. That's like one of the best models in the game. I feel like the jack-o'-lantern like scarecrow type of model. I really like that one. How the light's coming out of the jack-o'-lantern on their head. It's one of the coolest models in the game. As far as like normal mobs, not like big boss mobs or whatever. I don't know. Let me know what your favorite is. You know me, I always got something for y'all to say in the comments. And it's not even really for the algorithm. I just be talking a lot and asking lots of questions. What's your favorite model in the game, like as far as like the enemies? I kind of like the Scarecrow, the Jack-o'-lanterns, or whatever you want to call them, like right there with the light shining out of the pumpkin. Look like a Scarecrow with a Jack-o'-lantern head. The light coming out of their eyes. The ones you see in like Unrest, or here, I guess. But this spot is kind of like in between the bandits and the barbarians. I'm gonna increase the speed when we're just sitting here. I'm gonna try to get all this on one video. I don't really want to make a part 2 of the Scarecrow, so anytime there's no action at all, I'll put it in 2 times speed if I can remember. But yeah, I'm Wizard. I'm 14. He's, I think, 14 or 15 Necromancer. He might be 15. I think he's trying to stay a little bit ahead of me because he's got a 20% penalty, and like I'm able to get all the quest stuff, like the Null Fangs and the Bandit Sashes and the Molars. Like there's Molars in the Warrens, which I haven't turned in yet. I'm probably gonna do that on video. But I want to see, like, are those any good? Are they as good as Null Fangs or Crushed Bone Belts or Bandit Sashes or Bone Chips or any of that kind of stuff? Or is it more like a Bandit Sash, or is it more like a Null Fang? I don't know. We'll have to see. All right, what are we saying here? We're talking about Guild Wars on Gems of War. Something to talk about. Only person I know that plays both games, unless anybody in the comments wants to prove me wrong. I think me and him are the only 2 people that play Gems of War and EverQuest, and I'm not saying that's like something to be proud of. I'm just saying it's unique. Faceless One was the other one, I guess. Haven't seen him in a while. Check in, Faceless One. Where you at, bro? I want to make sure you're doing good. You're not in a ditch somewhere. Or maybe you're in Hawaii on vacation surfing. I'm not. I'm just hope you are. I hope you are, dude. Check in, bro. Check in. F1 check in, bro. I know you don't have to be our trio. I won't pressure you or anything. I just want to know that you're still watching. It's okay. I don't get on Discord or nothing, so you have to like leave a comment on a YouTube video unless you got PlayStation Messenger or something, bro. Um, I was watching our not watching, but I saw like I did an Agena the other day on my Necro, and I remembered me and F1 going in there, the Druid and the like you build memories on this game. It's fun, you know what I mean? So I remember that. I remember like going into Agena with Badger and we killed Najina. And I remember going to Lower Guck and killing like, or it was like, I think Upper Guck. We went and killed like the Lord or the King or something. I remember being outside Karna's Castle with Trey and F1. Like we were like fear kiting with Bard and Necro and Monk or something like that. That was really fun. Um, but yeah, just check in, bro. Be cool to have you as a trio, but no pressure. No pressure. If anybody else like I'll do apologize, man. My plans changed at the last second. I wasn't trying to like duck you or anything like that. So last weekend, I forget what happened. Mrs. Cinny was like off on Sunday when like she gets different days off every week, and I don't really know. It's not like the job she has. It's not like she's off the same days every week. Like ask Trey, dude. I'll flip flop from Saturday to Sunday every other weekend. It's never like the same day every weekend. You know, sometimes it'll be Sunday for 3 Sundays in a row, and then all of a sudden it's Saturday. So sorry about that, Al. Do you got your Shadow Knight over there at the Lawrence? Let's do it. I think we're gonna go for the jailer and the trainer. We're gonna like sit in between the jailer and the trainer, and it'd be cool to have a third because it's kind of hard to break and stuff like that. So, or a pooler. I'd love to have a freaking pooler, bro. I want to be able to sit there and just have stuff brought to me so I can meditate and actually throw some spells. You know, nothing against what we're doing now. I kind of starting to come around to the crawling through a dungeon like I'm playing WoW on EverQuest. It kind of, but I don't. If there's a difference between that and like, so here's my two examples. I'm all over the place like always. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Or at least you like my voice and you fall asleep to it or something. I don't know why you watch. But there's two different things. Like two different when I talk about like playing this game like WoW, I don't necessarily mean like dungeon crawling. Because you can dungeon crawl in this game and it's not exactly like WoW. What I mean is like how you if you get into a group and you're grinding experience, normally you'll like set up a spot, like a camp, and then like the puller will pull to the camp. Of course, if you're exploring a new dungeon that you've never been to before and you're looking for a spot, when I'm doing that, ideally though, I'm looking for a spot. I'm not like hoping that I continue to run around the dungeon from mob to mob to mob. Uh, I'm hoping I'm gonna let you do that until you find a spot. You don't just do that forever, right? Unless you're like melee. If you're only like, let's say you got a monk and a rogue and a warrior and something that barely needs mana, like a bard or something. You know what I mean? Like, then of course you would just go from mob to mob to mob to mob. You don't have to sit around and get mana. But in this game, you're not getting mana unless you're sitting. If you're a wizard, if you're a necro, if you're a mage, if you're a cleric, you know what I mean? If you're a shaman, you got to sit and stand in place and freaking dance. You got to dance in one spot. You can't move around and dance. Of course, there's things you can do, like with the necro, you can lich and bond, and with, I guess you could canny dance a little bit, and you can pick up ticks of mana while you're going from spot to spot, but it's just not as really like the ideal situation is to be, okay, this is where we're sitting, and the puller's going to pull back to the casters or the healers. So there's like, okay, you got my example usually is like the Yeti caves in in like where is it? The Dreadlands? So in between like Karnor's Castle and like with the Wizard Spire thing, like there's a Yeti cave there. I just remember a session where this dude we just went from Yeti to Yeti to Yeti to Yeti to Yeti to Yeti, and I was like on my shaman maybe, And I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna be able to heal you if you don't let me sit. Like, I can't just follow you around. I'm gonna have no mana. You're gonna die. Eventually, I'm just gonna let you die. Like, I just will. Like, you know, I probably won't actually, because I don't want to waste my own time letting you die. So, and I don't like letting people die when I'm the healer, right? But that's just how I almost want to just let you die from playing like an idiot. Like, instead of like making us tag along with you, why don't you like find a good spot for us to sit and let us sit here and you pull back to us? That way I'll have enough mana to heal you. It's like I feel like people like get on this game and they get twinked out somehow or power leveled, and then they continue to play that game the game that way, like for way too long. They never figure out how to play the game for real, like normally, because they've always had like a fungi tunic with crazy proccing weapons, and you know what I mean? And they got power leveled to level 40, 50, and so they just run around killing everything. And they get a harsh reality once they get in their 50s or something, and they go into Karnor's castle or Shardock or something, and they just get destroyed trying to do that. But before that, they're doing it, and I don't, you know, if you can do it, you can do it. But other people in your group can't do that. So you need to realize, like, think of other people, type of thing. Oh wait, we probably shouldn't be in 2 times anymore. Sorry. I don't mind though accidentally leaving it because there's a lot of footage here, and now it's dead already, and I'm just gonna put it back in 2 times. Here I'm just talking. It's almost like I should just leave it. Maybe we can do 1.5. How would EverQuest look if it's just on like 1.5 the whole time? That might be pretty good actually. Does anybody really care? Put that in the comments. Like a video like this where we're just like doing scarecrows. You're just gonna see us find a scarecrow, kill it, find a scarecrow, kill it, find a scarecrow, kill it, find a scarecrow, kill it. I'm casting the same freaking spells every time, pretty much. They're not really social. They don't really aggro. There's really no, you know, it's just a spot for y'all to check out while I'm talking about something else. You know what I mean? I'm throwing my lightning spell. I'm level I have my level 12 spells now, but the only one I'm using is like my best direct damage, pretty much. And root, if I need to root. It's the funnest part so far about this wizard is like, of course you like the giant direct damage, but like I feel like rooting and like crowd control is a little bit part of the fun. It's part of the fun, you know, like when we're crawling through Black Burrow and I have to like root stuff or we will die. You know, if I don't keep stuff rooted, and if I let 5 things get on Belphegor and his pet dies, then we're probably effed. But if I can root him around to where he can get away from them and I can like crowd control it, then it's way better. Like it's fun to like have a job that you do good. And I put it back in 2 times because we're not really doing anything. But I think I'm getting pretty close to level. I think I get really close to level 15. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. Like in this video, I get experience and it's a good time. It's a good session, but I have to like stop playing at like the worst time when I'm like 1 kill away from dinging. So, but level 14 here, killing scarecrows. They look really cool. See how it looks in 1.5. I'm curious now. That's not too bad. I guess I was using my fire spell a little bit. Thought I was using shock of lightning more than that. Ooh, I'm just trying stuff out. Okay, that's cool though. I'm just trying spells out. I have to just leave it in 1.5, y'all. That way I don't have to change it back and forth. How much would that give me? That would give me like, got 1 hour and 15 left. So it's not in 2 times. 2 times would be like, what, 40 minutes? 30, 2 times would be like 40 minutes or so, right? 35 minutes. So this is going to be like 45 minutes or something, which is probably perfect. Got 19 so far. Yeah, that's probably perfect. I'm just going to leave it at 1.5. If you don't like it, let me know and I'll never do it again. But sometimes my like people that don't even watch this are like, you're just sitting around, you're just running around, you're just floating through the sky. As long as you guys can like catch the, let me get the stupid mouse off the screen though. As long as you guys can see like some of the text, I was starting to think like my text might be a little too big. Like I do turn it all the way like as big as it can go, but maybe I should turn it down like 1 so you can see like more instances of the. Sometimes I'll miss something. I was on my SK the other day because I got Shroud of Death, right, and I wanted to try it out. And it's just so cool. It's way better than Vampiric Embrace. If you're a Shadow Knight, I still don't understand that either. But let's finish the other topic first. I'm sorry. So going from spot to spot to spot to spot, like with the Yetis, is what I don't like. And like dungeon crawling in Blackburrow or the Warrens, I like that until you find a spot. Like in Blackburrow, we looked around everywhere. It was for a YouTube video, kind of to look around. Probably wouldn't play like that normally. Like maybe I would just for fun, and then I would find a spot, camp a spot. I wouldn't just keep doing that. When you see me in Blackburrow going from like the first time we were in Blackburrow, that's normally how I play. We sit by the bridge, we go out and pool, and it's nice to have a pooler though. When you don't have a pooler, it's a little bit harder, but that's how I normally play. We sat by the bridge, somebody goes out and pulls back to the group. That way he had max mana like the whole time and he could just kill stuff. Um Ideally you have like a pooler though, like a melee or a tank or something to pull back to you so you know that doesn't use mana. Um so the first time we went to Blackbird, that's what we did. We just sat in one spot. I went out and pulled, brought it back to the spot. And it's also like you kind of know, like, you're not going to die. Like, you know what to expect, too. It's not just about sitting and getting mana. It's a lot about that, but you also kind of know what to expect in that area. Oh, I killed this one, and then 20 minutes later, it's going to repop, and then I pull this one, and then I pull this one, and then I pull this one, and then I pull these two. They come together. I got to root that one, so let's break them. Then you kind of, like, have a route. It's almost fun to, like, build a little route. You know what I mean? Like, going through Scarlet Monastery and going from the beginning of the freaking dungeon to the end of the dungeon to kill a boss. That's not how this game works, like for real. It's not really you're not gonna like kill the boss and then leave the instance and get a treasure chest. Um but if you don't know the dungeon, you've never been there before, like by all means. I'm not telling anybody how to play the game. I'm just saying like if you're with a pickup group, if you're with a random people like LFG pickup group, try to play it more like EverQuest and less like WoW, is all I'm trying to say. Because most of the time, if you have a caster that needs mana, they're going to need to sit in the same spot. That way they have enough mana to then contribute to the group, to heal you, to throw spells, to crowd control. It'll be much better. You might think it's better to run around with like a chicken with your head cut off, killing everything. And that probably works for a certain amount of time. I'm not saying it don't work. Depends how twinked out you are, how power leveled you got, or if you did put all the work in on your level 60 to get a bunch of gear and give it to an alt, like that's cool, but just keep other people in mind too. Like they aren't decked out like you. They're not able to do that. They don't want to like just follow you around either, even if it's possible. Some people don't like to get carried around either. Like I don't like to get carried around. I want to contribute to the group. I want to be able to like at least cast one spell every fight or something. You know what I mean? So if you're just going around killing everything with your fungi tunic and your crazy weapons, like, you know, that's boring. It's boring for me. You might think it's fun, but it's boring for the rest of the people in your group. And they might just do it and they might not say anything about it, but they're just tagging along to get experience because this game is hard and they're just riding your coattails. You know what I mean? Like, but there's probably somebody in that group that's like, dang, I wish he would pool to us, like, so I could sit here, so I could get my mana, so I could freaking contribute, so I could play the game instead of just putting him on auto follow and like going AFK because he's killing everything with his crazy weapons and stuff. See, that's different than like the Blackburrow thing where we went and explored. We weren't sure what was up ahead. We were looking for a spot and we pretty much found one. We just never kind of did it. It would have been the snake spot. Like the one where we climbed up the ladder, there was the 4 snake. Actually, Trey did it. I didn't do it, but he did it. So somebody did it. Just wasn't me. So the snake pit, the spikes, the ladder, the 4 snakes above the ladder. There's like one knoll before a door, and then you got like 3 or 4 more snakes in there with the snake pit, and like another knoll. And there's another snake like around the corner that I found later on that, you know, made the camp probably even better. So that would have been the spot if we, after we explored and went every which way. The first snake spot, that wasn't the spot. We got a train. There was only 3 snakes, but we figured out, okay, this isn't the spot. Then we go and we find the right spot. And now we know, okay, if we were going to ever do Black Burrow again and we wanted to do snakes for some reason, then we would sit right here. We would do this spot and pull these, and this would be a good spot to sit in. Now we're trying to find that with the warrens. So I'm going in the warrens, and yeah, we're going from mob to mob to mob. We're looking at the map. We're progressing through the dungeon. We're dungeon crawling. But we're looking for a spot. We're not. And the way this game works anyway is you find a named, you kind of want to kill it, put it on a timer, kill it again right when it pops, kill its placeholder, kill its placeholder, kill its placeholder. And then, so you want to like be there for that and clear everything else around it. And like, that's your camp. So what I'm thinking right now, let me, correct me if I'm wrong in the warrens, but I'm thinking we found a good spot like towards the end of our session. Like at first we went, I don't want to tell you like everything, but I'm thinking we're going to sit near the trainer, but between the trainer and the was it the jailer? The trainer and the jailer or something? Because they're both blue or white, and everything in that area is like blue or green or white. And there's like pit fighters up ahead too that were like, so it seemed like a good spot. There was like at first there were a bunch of greens, and then eventually we started seeing some blues, and then eventually we started seeing some whites, and then eventually we get run off the block, and then we go back in, we go a different way this time. There's a bunch of greens, and then a bunch of greens, and then a bunch of greens, and then we find a spot. We're like, oh, this could be a good spot. But there's only 2 here, like be good for solo maybe. So maybe I'll solo this, but we're in the kitchen and there's only these 2 here. So we could solo this, but it's not really good for duo because there's only these 2, and then there's a bunch of greens around other than that. So then we kept going and going. We found like the jailer, and we're like, ooh, this guy, he's like even or something, and he's pretty nice. He's just a warrior. There's blues around him. We almost got stuck there. Like he kept stuff. That's a 6-minute spawn. You know that the Warrens is a 6-minute spawn dungeon. That's hard when you're trying to crawl through there and it's stuff up your butt the whole time because it's respawning. That's pretty difficult. We definitely got ran off the block once. I'm not gonna say whether we died or gated or what happened, but at one point, Kukau or whatever his name was like, "Where'd you guys go?" Like, we went the wrong way. That's where we went. So we came in. We go a different way. Go through a bunch of greens. Look around a bit, and I think I found a spot. So this upcoming weekend, I don't remember. I gotta ask what day that she's gonna be off. That way I can, because I think Aldu plays like D&D on Saturdays, which is really cool, by the way. I love that. I always wished I'd played D&D, but I don't know. I never knew anybody that admitted to doing that back when I was younger. Not that there's any age limit on it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't get into it back when I was a kid or a teenager because I didn't really know anybody that was doing all that. I got lucky to be introduced to EverQuest for real. But now that I'm older, like I love D&D. I don't play it, but I listen to like podcasts and I probably don't know that much about it, but I listen to a lot of it. Like Glass Cannon Network. You guys are probably better ones to talk to about that. I always mention it on my Gems of War stuff, but I'm sure some of y'all out there would know some good D&D podcasts. For some reason, I've never mentioned it on here. But I listened to, like, I can't remember what's the first one I ever listened to. But yeah, just to finish up the other thing, like, yes, I do crawl through dungeons. It's pretty much for YouTube, though, or to find a spot. So it's not like the goal isn't to keep crawling through the dungeon over and over and over like an instance. It's to learn the dungeon and then find a spot and then camp that spot, What was I talking about before, too? I wanted to get back to. I got Shroud of Death on my Shadow Knight. Vampiric Embrace. Shroud of Death is so much better than Vampire. I don't know why that spell only sells for like 100 plat. It's so crazy to me. Every freaking Shadow Knight wants it. I think it's like because there's Shroud of Death and then Shroud of Undeath, and then people assume that every Shadow Knight wants the Shroud of Undeath, and that's why it's like 6 or 7,000 plat. But if I can't get that one, the other one's still really good. I think the other spell should be at least 500 plat. I already have it, so I got no skin in the game now. But if I was anybody out there, if you have Shroud of Death, try to get 500 plat for it. Like, don't put it up for 100 or 200. And I'm sorry to all the other Shadow Knights out there, but it's worth it. We should rate that price should go up. Like, I don't get why it's so low, why it's only 100, 200 plat. You get to have a, maybe there's a reason though. Maybe there's like some item we get, like Blood Ember, whatever, that has it on there, and then it's like trivial after that, and you don't really need it. Like, maybe there's a reason. Somebody tell me in the comments if there's a reason why Shroud of Death is only like 200 plat for the spell when it's hard to find and every Shadow Knight wants it. Like, I don't get that. And the only thing I could think of is Shroud of Undeath. Like, people that aren't Shadow Knights probably think every Shadow Knight wants to be a skeleton, which there is downsides to that. Like, being a troll or an ogre, we have slam, and if you're a skeleton, you can't slam. So we pretty much can't bash if we're using a two-handed sword or weapon if we have that on. And you're going to have that on all the time. But, yeah, Vampiric Embrace used to be 25, and I still don't even know, and I'm a freaking Shadow Knight. Does Vampiric Embrace, here's another question. I'm going to have a lot of questions for y'all. You know the deal. You guys have helped me a lot, too, and I appreciate it. Got me Shroud of Death. Told me to go to the Warrens. I listen sometimes. I'm a hardhead. I might not listen to everything. It might take me 3 months, but, you know. Oh, there was where, the blood of the wolf thing. He's pulling. Trey's about to ding. He's talking about the Knoll stole his baby. He was telling me about that, like, last time. Sometimes I like to do callbacks. And then sometimes I forget what I was talking about. Yeah, the Shroud of Death. So Vampiric Embrace, you want to put that on for every fight, but it wears off in like 2 minutes. So you have to cast it like every freaking fight. Is so annoying. But it's a proc you put on your weapon, and it does like 25 damage. And the thing I don't know is it a life tap? Do I get 25 HP back too every time it goes off, or is it just damage? I think it's I think it's like a life tap too, right? It's just so little that you don't really notice it. I'm not 100% sure. I need to like double check. But it might be a life tap too. So Vampiric Embrace, you put it on, it's a buff, self only, and then every time you hit, it acts like a proc, and it can do 25 extra damage. And I think it heals you for 25 too, but I'm not 100% on that. And I should be because I'm a level 56 Shadow Knight. And I have a freaking Necromancer who had the same spell, but I never cast it because I didn't do melee. There are certain builds you can do though with a Necromancer where you utilize Vampiric Embrace, like a Bone Knight or something. So, Shroud of Death does twice as much damage and lasts for like 20 freaking minutes. It corrects both problems. It's so much better. It's so awesome. I love it. I really like Vampiric Embrace. But the annoying part about it was you had to recast it before every fight. And it lasts like 2 minutes. It's so annoying. It's kind of like the wizard with his damage shield lasting like not even a whole fight. It's so annoying to cast it on yourself every single time before every single fight that you just stop doing it almost. So you don't see me put this damage shield on at all, probably this whole video, maybe once or twice, because it's so annoying to do it before every single fight. It's not even worth it half the time, because you cast it on yourself, they hit you like twice, and you do like 4 damage, and it wears off halfway through the fight, and you're like, you cast it on yourself, and then you have to go find something, pull it runs slowly to you, maybe it's not hitting you at first, eventually it hits you once or twice, you get 2 damage per, and then it wears off. So I know it lasts longer the more you level. I should probably try it again. But that was the reason I didn't like. I love Vampiric Embrace, but that was like one of my things I didn't like about it is that it didn't last very long. Hey, Trey Ding, grats, dude. I think he just got like 15, 16. I don't know. Probably 15. He's got the robe of Dawnir. He's got loam encrusted shoes. I know that. Looks like he's got a Stein of Magok. He's got a pizza slicer. He's got a helmet. I got the green silken drape, which is kind of trash, but I'll look different, not in the next video, but like the video after that. We finally did some administrative stuff. So, Shroud of Death is just so much better. It lasts for like 20 minutes at least. It does 50 instead of 25. It's so much better. I love it. I love Shroud of Death, and I'm so happy to have gotten it. It took me so long to get it. It's like satisfying now. So I've been playing my Shadow Knight a little bit, and I'm just killing one guard in Kelethin, just getting the long swords, just dad camping, not even doing it very much for real. I killed like 3 guards yesterday, maybe 4, maybe 5. The day before I killed 3 or 4 guards. Like I'm just trying to like make sure I'm still playing my Shadow Knight, because that's my main character right now for real. My Necro is always my main character, but like my real focus is my Shadow Knight because I want to get it to 60. But been playing the Wizard a lot. It's easier for videos, y'all. Like today, I gotta make 2 videos today, and I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do it. I'm making the one for today for the every mother effing Wednesday, but the tomorrow one, Miss Cinny's off tomorrow. We have something. We have some sort of appointment to go to. I got to get all the kids to school in the morning, and then, I could maybe make it tomorrow. I'm not, but I would prefer to make it today. That way it's ready for tomorrow. That way I don't have to like scramble around and find us. The other day I made a video like Indian style on the floor in my daughter's room because Mrs. Cindy was home. But yeah, Shroud of Death I think it should be cost way more. I think it should be at least 500 plat. And I know everybody's probably wants to do the Frankenstein mob outside of my house about it, but I would pay that much. I offered Coco. I'm gonna call you Coco because it's easier. I offered Coco. I said, "Hey, I can give you 500 plat. I just don't have it on me right now because he would like give it to my wizard. My wizard doesn't have that much plat. He doesn't carry it around on him anyway. He has probably like 200 or 300, but he don't carry it around on him. I'm like, hey, I'll get you in the tunnel, and next time you're in the tunnel, my necromancer's there. And I'm still like the offer's still out there. Like I did give Trey some swords for transferring the spell, and I was like, hey, I didn't have to pay for the spell, so here you go. I'll give you some of my long swords off my Shadow Knight. So I have technically paid a little bit for the spell, but I would still give that person a couple hundred plat if they wanted it, because they went out of their way. They asked their guild. At first, they couldn't find the spell, and then they went out of their way to find it somehow. I don't even know how they ended up finding it. I think they just asked their guild, and somebody had it, maybe. But it's such a good spell, and every Shadow Knight wants it, and I think it's underrated and it's underpriced. And I think it's just like it's in a weird zone, and when you're in that zone, you're probably focused on other things, and then you get that spell, and you're like, oh boy, it's kind of like tumultuous strength or something in your bank. You're not really thinking about, like, oh, I got this 100 plat spell that I gotta sell one day when I finally clear out my bank. I'm telling y'all, go put it up in the tunnel for 500 plat and be patient, and you'll get 500 plat within like a week. Shroud of Undeath, I wish I had it, but it does come with downsides. The Shroud of Death, no downsides, except for you can't turn into a skeleton. But yeah, the D&D stuff. So, do you guys have any like really good podcasts? Like, some people recommend them to me, and then I check them out, and I'm like, I might have talked about this before because I've talked about it a lot, but I feel like it's mostly on Gems of War that I talk about this. So what I look for in a Dungeons and Dragons podcast, live play, whatever they call it, Critical Role. Think Critical Role when I'm talking about this. Critical Role is okay. I like it. It's the standard. It's like the popular one. It's good. I like the people on it. But sometimes, dude, like I like the Critical Role abridged. When they do the abridged for their campaigns, that's like more my speed than like they're too much of the character building and too much of the whatever they call it, banter or whatever, the world building, the character building, the role playing, whatever you want to say. I don't want to see I don't want like there to be fighting back to back to back to back to back to back to back, but I don't want them just chuckle effing around for the whole. Sometimes there's whole parts where they have no fights and they're just chuckle effing around, thinking they're funny and stuff. These people aren't comedians, and they try to be funny like the whole freaking time. That's what I hate about Dungeons and Dragons podcasts. It's like my pet peeve. It's like nails on a chalkboard to see some person in playing Dungeons and Dragons trying to like be funny the whole time. It's like so annoying because they're not funny. They're not funny. They're not a comedian. They're either a voice actor or they're a Dungeons and Dragons person or a podcaster. They're not a comedian most of the time. Or if they are, okay, so I watch Glass Cannon Network. That's like one of my favorites. Shout out to them. You should go subscribe. You should go watch it. Even they don't get it perfect, but they have okay, so they have like they got Troy. He's like the main dude. He's the dungeon master. He's an actual like comedian. He's actually funny. So when he makes a joke, it's funny. I laugh at it. And he's not. He knows he picks his spots too. He's not like trying to make a joke out of everything all the time. Then you got Skid, who is also funny and also, when he picks his spots, he's funny but he's not like trying to make jokes the whole entire freaking time and be funny because it's being recorded and it's on YouTube and he wants to be the star of the show and make jokes about everything. Talk about It's annoying. It's annoying when they do that because there's these other ones. There's like Matthew and uh uh what's her stupid name? She's annoying though. I forget her name. She's always like eating and she's trying to joke around all the time and so is he and like they're annoying. They're not comedians and they're always trying to be funny and joke around. And it's annoying. I forget her name. Dang it. Some of you all somebody out there watches it. You know who I'm talking about. Kate's the good one. The other girl. I don't like her that much. She's okay when she isn't trying to be funny all the time. Sydney is her name. Sydney. Sydney is okay, but so is Matthew. He's fine. He's okay. Except for lately, they've both been trying to joke around way too much like they're freaking Skid or Troy. They need to be more like Joe and Kate. They're funny every once in a while. Like Joe has he rolls a 1 all the time and he's horrible at rolling and he has horrible luck. So when that happens, that's funny. But he's not trying to make a joke out of everything else too. Um, and then all of a sudden they're making everything about sex and doing it on the show too. And it's like, come on, bro. Like Troy and Skid do it right. Joe, Kate do it right. And then you got Matthew and Sydney who always have to get in there and screw it up. Which isn't always the case. They've done some campaigns where it's not like that. It's just been lately. They've all been trying. Every single person has to be funny. Why is that the case? What's up with that? Like people have recommended me D&D podcasts before, and it's like excuse the label here. I'm a nerd, right? I play EverQuest. I consider myself somewhat of a nerd. Probably not full-fledged 100%, but I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid nerd here. We got 6 nerds playing Dungeons and Dragons, which I would love to watch. I would love to watch it. It would be great. I would love it. But then you got all 6 of them thinking they're the comedian and all trying to be funny. I need something in the middle, y'all. I need something in the middle. Just if you can help me out, if you can find one for me, like on YouTube, like a campaign that I can listen to. I get bored easily. I'm listening to it and I'm trying to listen to part 12 like 5 times. I have to re-listen to part 12 like 5 freaking times before I actually get through it because I'm like, geez Louise, they're just talking about nothing. They're making jokes when they're not funny. They're snorting and you know what I mean? Like, it's boring and annoying sometimes. Like, Critical Role is cool, but they just like sometimes it's just like, dude, can you like have some action, please? Sometimes, and I don't need fights every single time. I would love to see like, okay, you go into a bar, you meet each other. Here's my backstory. Oh, somebody attacks the bar. Let's have a fight. And then, ooh, we got to figure out what happened. Like, who attacked us? Who was it? Like, let's go around town and ask people about these clues that we found about who attacked us. And they go around town and ask people about clues about who found them, who attacked them. And then they're like, all right, let's call it a night. Let's go home. Let's go find an inn. And then they get attacked in the streets in the alleyway on their way home for the night. And they fight that fight. And then they go to sleep. They wake up the next day. They're still on their mission to figure out who attacked them at the bar. They go talk to somebody. They get some information. They go talk to somebody else. They don't like the cut of their jib and they fight. You know what I mean? oh, this guy fought us when we asked him questions. That's kind of weird. And then they go somebody else and they give them a clue like, oh, you need to go over here to this castle because that's the person that probably sent them after you. And then we got to go through the deadly woods to get to the castle. So let's gear up. Let's get some rope and a bag of holding, and we'll go through the woods. It's dangerous. And then they get in some fights in the woods. They camp in the woods. The GM rolls the dice to see if they get attacked in their sleep. Maybe they get attacked in their sleep. Maybe they don't. Maybe they tell a story. Maybe they do some backstory around the campfire. And then they continue through the woods towards the castle. They almost make it there, and then they get attacked by some scouts for the castle. Okay. Then they interrogate one of the scouts and like have this whole conversation with the scout about getting some information about the castle or something. You know, you go back and forth, back and forth. You got to have like equal parts. You can't just have all freaking stupid backstory and chuckle effing, and you can't just have all fights either. It's like nice when it's a perfect balance. And then the perfect balance of D&D knowledge and comedy. And if there's 6 people sitting at the table, 3 of them should be experts at D&D, and then you can have 3 comedians. How about that? And the 3 comedians should be good ones that know how to pick their spots and not just try to make a joke out of everything. And the other 3 should not try to make any jokes, except for in very rare occasions when like maybe they have their thing, like they have horrible luck. Ooh, I rolled a 1, now I'm going to throw a fit, and it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking for that, and it's really hard to find. Like Adventure Zone, I think was the first one I ever listened to, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. You guys ever like the first one you ever listened to? Like first true crime I ever listened to was like Serial. It's hard to live up to that. First D&D I ever listened to was I think Adventure Zone. Is that what it's called? It was really good. Like the first one was really good, and then like people are like, oh, listen to Critical Role. So I listened to Critical Role. It was alright. I think I got through like one campaign, it was really good, and then like the next one was like, oh, it's kind of boring, but it's all right. Like I'll listen to it, but I'm not that excited. I forget stuff. Had to do the recap like every time. And Glass Cannon is good. It's hard to find like their early stuff. Like they always talk about this Giant Slayer campaign, but I can never like really find it. I think I found it eventually, and then I don't know. And they do other stuff too, like they do Get in the Trunk or something like that, which was kind of cool. They do like Call of Cthulhu. Killing these scarecrows, y'all. I think I get a good thumbnail. I get up real close on one because I want a thumbnail. Maybe that's this happening right here, maybe. Or maybe it already happened. I don't know if y'all want me to talk about the game, but this is Western Karana. It's in between the bandits and the barbarians. The fisher barbarians, you know, at the edge of the water that you can sell to. It's like a cornfield with no corn is what I call it. Patchwork farm area. In that area, there's scarecrows. The scarecrows are like level, I don't know, 13 to 16 or something like that. And they're pretty good experience according to Trey, and it's not like super dangerous. I don't think they're social. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they don't aggro. I know that I'm 100% sure they don't aggro, but I'm not 100% sure they're not social, but we never got to. So, yeah, I know. I'm like, dude, I'm going to get so close to dinging, but not ding. That sucks. Can you guys tell it's in 1.5 still? I think it is. Yeah, it's still in 1.5. Can you tell? Is it good, bad? I mean, of course, if we were like exploring a dungeon with danger around every corner, I'd probably put it in 1 times. I've never done this before. I've never had it in 1.5. Look, we got Utel coming through. I think he comes through pretty soon. Which shout out to that. You know me, the only thing I don't like is power leveling. I think I hate that, and I don't think there's almost never a time for it. If somebody wants to buff me, if you want to come through and buff me, that's cool. I'm not going to ask you though. I'm not going to say, please give me every single buff you have so I can not suck at the game. I'm not going to say that. Never going to ask for anything, like as far as equipment. I'll accept it though, so don't, you know. If you walk up to me and say, hey, you want a fungi tunic? I'm going to say, sure, give it to me. But I'm not going to beg for one. But yeah, like the one dude showed up in Blackborough, Dagda, gave us a couple things. I wish I could say Cuckoo's name right. Maybe it's Cuckoo. That could be right. Coco, Cuckoo. I might even be saying the whole thing wrong because he'll be in the next video. You guys will see. He's in it. Dagda's in it. Um, this one's Utel. But yeah, if you guys have any recommendations for a D&D podcast, I'd greatly appreciate it. If it's up my alley, I just want equal parts fighting and story, and equal parts comedy and actual like playing the game, knowing the rules. You know, equal parts. I don't want chuckle effing around, trying to hump the whole time. Like, that's annoying. I don't need a non-comedian trying to be funny the whole time. That's annoying. I don't need a nerdy non-comedian trying to be funny the whole time. That just bothers me, and I turn it off right away if I hear them snorting at their own jokes. And they'll even like the whole table will laugh at their stupid, dumb, snorty, dumb joke. And because they're getting recorded, they don't actually think it's funny. They're making a podcast, they're trying to get views, they're trying to have a successful campaign and podcast. So if somebody makes a joke, they're all going to laugh, even if it's not funny. So they're all snorting, and it's annoying. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear your stupid joke that you think is funny, and then everybody else laughs because you're getting recorded, and it's not funny, and it's annoying. I don't want to hear that. If you're there to play, and know the rules, you don't have to be a comedian. Not everybody has to be a comedian, okay? So stick to what you know. That people will respect that too. Like, just be honest and be yourself. That's the best thing you can do on YouTube. I tell you guys, I'm not the best at EverQuest ever. I'm not an encyclopedia of this game. I'm just showing you all the game, just playing. I'm good at dad camps. I'm decent at Necro, but I'm definitely not an expert, and I would never claim to be one of the best that ever played this game. That's not my thing at all. I just be myself. I just play the game. I just record myself playing the game. I'm all right. I'm all right at finding dad camps, and which is valuable these days because of the way we all have to play this game. So that's my thing. But if I'm not gonna be. It's not like if you're putting together an all-star group to go do something in the game. I don't think I would want to be in that all-star group. I would say, hey, take that person instead. You know what I mean? But I'm decent. I'm never gonna say I'm not decent because I'm not. I got a level 60. I'm not gonna do all my credentials again, but you know the deal. Like, you tell, you ride. Shout out to you tell. Shout out to anybody that's given a super thanks to. There's Christopher Kennedy, Bo, Trey, Chad. They're all like $2 a piece or something, and it's been over a few weeks. So it's not like I'm getting all those in one day or something. But shout out to everybody that's giving me a super thanks or something in the game, like Coco Cuckoo said that, hey, consider this like a super thanks, and he gave me the Shroud of Death. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. It doesn't always have to be about literal money. If you just tell somebody else about the channel and get them to subscribe, that's almost like giving me $5 or something. You know what I mean? If you post my videos on your Discord channel and you're like, hey, check this guy out, he's pretty good. Like, I get it, y'all. I don't make only EverQuest content. If I was making only EverQuest content, if I was playing P99 and Quarm and Monsters and Memories and only doing that, like, I'm sure I'd get more views and more subscribers and stuff. I'm just way too loyal, like, for my own good. Like, people that are not loyal to me, I'm still loyal to them. Like, that's how loyal I am. Like, I've had so many Gems of War people just disappear over the years, which, I don't expect people to be around forever, but I'm still covering the game too. But it's because people, if you're good to me, I'll be good to you, I'm like super loyal. So I don't know what I'm trying to say with that, but that's why I still play Gems of War, and I'm never not going to play Gems of War until it's like super clear that it's just a waste of my time. Like, eventually, I'm not like loyal to that much of a fault. I'm pretty loyal, and I'm one of the most loyal people you'll ever meet in your entire life. But I'm not gonna be streaming for nothing, basically. If like one person's watching and I haven't made $1 in weeks, and I'm gonna probably quit playing the game, you know? That game's kind of like starting to die anyway, like honestly. It's been dying for a long time, and I've been claiming it's dying for a long time, so it's dying a very slow death. But supposedly there's only like 2 developers right now. That's what I've heard on the forums. Which for that game, I feel like there used to be at least 3 or 4 times that many. But anyways, there's something I started talking about and stopped talking about in the middle of talking about it. Yeah. So I've been playing my Shadow Knight. The last video we did on this wizard was the bandits and the bandit sashes, which was okay. It's mostly about the plat, not the experience. The gifts are really awesome. I made like 250 plat on that. So did Trey. So we made like 500 total, I think. We eventually, okay, so how did I get to the Warrens? That's a good thing we could talk about. So I just rode the boats and I wanted to do it the old fashioned way. So I go to Southern Kanos and there's a dock. You have to just go to the right dock. It's longer than the rest. It's kind of out, I think it's called the Mermaid's Lure or something. It's like a certain shop. You'll know the one. And it's like the longer dock, like kind of all by itself. There's a set of docks that are like kind of shorter, and then there's like another. If you go through like a doorway, there's another dock. Like it's longer and it's like in front of a Mermaid Lure or some sort of shop. That's the one you want to go to. That's the dock, the longer dock. You sit at the end of that. A boat comes. You jump on the boat. It takes you to, and it'll even say like it's nice. It like says, "Hey, the boat's coming soon." It'll say that like in your text. Which I hate. I hate Freeport. I feel like that boat never comes. It's like takes a freaking hour to come, and then when it comes and it leaves like in 5 seconds. It's so annoying. I hate waiting for boats, especially the Freeport boat. What's your least favorite boat to wait for? I feel like the worst boat is that stupid Freeport boat, stupid Butcher Block boat, whatever you want to call it. But the next one is probably the Ocean of Tears one, like the what's it called? OT boat. That one's annoying too, but Freeport boat is really annoying. Like, I swear it doesn't come for like an hour and a half, and then when it comes, it stops for like 5 seconds and then leaves. So you always miss it. Ooh, I got a Scarecrow on me. I think I started like going out there and pulling a little bit. So how this went was we were like kind of sitting by the water, playing it safe. He would run out, pull something to me. We would kill it. He would go out, get something else, pull it, kill it. He would go out, get something else, pull it, kill it. Eventually, Utel came along. We got we got a little buff, and we started running out in the field, streaking, just killing scarecrows. So eventually, like I was starting to like get like, oh, dude, I gotta quit playing soon. We'll just get out there and just risk it all for the biscuit all. And we kind of realized like the scarecrows aren't social, I think, and they're not aggroing, so it's just fine. It's pretty much fine to go into the field if you really want to. If you want to play it super safe, sit by the water, pull to the water. If you don't mind like having a little bit of danger, go into the field and you could do that if you want, for real. I think you can just sit in the middle of the freaking field if you want to. I don't think they even attack you. A stank stash. Yeah, everybody likes me, but everybody hates him. He's that Ixar over here in the Karanas, you know? It's pretty dangerous. What was I talking about? Uh, anyway, I don't know. EverQuest, Gems of War, the YouTube channel. Oh yeah, going to the Warrens. So there's a boat in Southern Kanos. It comes out of like the Mermaid's Lure or some shop like that. It's the long dock all by itself. There's no other docks around. It's that one. You sit at the end of that, a boat comes. You get on the boat, and then the boat takes you to a Rude's crossing, I think. So it makes a stop. It's kind of like the one from Freeport to Butcher Block. It makes a stop in Ocean of Tears. So same thing with this one. It goes from Kanos to Aruden, but it stops at a Rude's crossing. And at a Rude's crossing, there's a little island, supposedly that has like a bunch of wisps. And if you wanted to farm wisps, that would be the place to be, a Rude's Crossing. It also has cats. If you want to kill if you want to start killing the cats, there's a couple of them there. I conned them. One was like blue, one was like white, and one was like red. So I feel like I think I was level 14, about to hit 15 though. So if you're like 15 or 16, you might be able to fight the cats there, the Karens or whatever they're called. So it seems like I might want to check out that little island, like, but I just don't know if we're going to be in the Warrens for a minute. And of course, I'm going to level once or twice while I'm in the Warrens. And then will I be too high of a level to check out a Roots Crossing? Not really. It wasn't on my radar until we docked there for a second. And then I read about it a little bit. And I'm like, oh, okay. There's like a level 13 enchanter there or something killing wisps. But it's just a location to keep in mind if you're ever over this way and you're like level 15 or under. You could check out that little tiny Roots Crossing island. But they also say it's kind of dangerous, like everything aggros and socials, and if you get into trouble, you're kind of effed because it's such a small island and there's nowhere to go. Okay, so you just chill on the boat, you don't get off at a Roots Crossing, and you'll keep going. And then it takes you to a Rootin. The boat will stop, and then a little shuttle boat pulls up to your boat, and you get on the little shuttle. Then the shuttle takes you into a Rudin. Then you got like the Sentinel guards. They look so cool. I like the Rudin guards. They're some of the coolest looking guards, you know. So there's another thing you can say in the comments. Give me a D&D podcast, right? That qualifies, you know, something that I like. Say what your least favorite boat is in EverQuest. I hate the Freeport boat because I feel like it takes freaking forever. And then it docks and leaves in 5 seconds. So annoying. And then what's your favorite guard? I like the Rudin guards. They look freaking cool. They got like the full, I like the helmet that's like almost completely, you know? Nobody wants like a bike helmet, right? If you're a cool guard, would you want like a bike helmet? Or would you want like a full like motorcycle type of shit? I would want the like full, like a little eye slit. I want that, dude. You know, if you want to look cool, you gotta like just have your eyes showing. Ninjas, uh, you know, if somebody's gonna rob you, dude, they got the shiesty on, right? That's the look these days. You got the shiesty, cover up everything but your eyeballs. Ninjas do it. Coolest guards in EverQuest do it. They just show their eyes. That's it. They got a helmet. Put a motor. Get on their motorcycle after they get off work. Pop a willy. Join a biker gang. I should make a story about an erudite guard who by day is an erudite guard and by night is a leader of a motorcycle gang. Would that be cool? What if I did that? What if I did a D&D podcast and I chuckle effed and told comedy jokes the whole time and it was just all backstory and no fighting? Or it was just all fighting back to back to back to back to back to back to back. All jokes, all joking and backstory and filler banter the whole time. That's it. No fighting. Who cares what your stats are? Don't roll your dice. We'll just talk about the motorcycle gang, erudite guard by day, motorcycle gang, Orange County choppers, biker, motorcycle man, handlebar mustache guy. No fighting. Don't roll your dice. My favorite guards, I don't know if it's my favorite guards, but they look cool. They're the Sentinels, they're erudite guards, look cool. Kind of like the Felwith guards too. So I think Erudin and Felwith. So they got to be hoity-toity, and then they have cool-looking guards. Isn't that weird? Like, look at your trolls and your ogre guards. Look at, like, your dark elf guards are pretty cool. Like, how come they got to be hoity-toity to look cool? Are they just, you got to be smart to look cool? Because if you're like a troll or an ogre, you're a beefy steroid monster. Like, why wouldn't you look cool? So you gotta be smart to look cool. You gotta be a high elf or a erudite to look cool. What's up with that? How come the Ixar guard? Do the Ixar guards look cool? I forget. But like you kill like Freeport guards, you know, they're all right. They look okay. They got like their helmet's almost cool. It's pretty cool. Freeport guards are okay. Kanos guards look kind of the same, right? They're okay, but It's like almost like the Erudite guards look cool because they look different. And like the Kanos and Freeport guards are like the guards you picture in your head. So they don't look that cool. But I'm a guard killer, so I don't know. I see lots of guards, I guess. You got the Kelethan guards. I'm trying to picture in my head. They're not that cool. Got Captain Silverpants and Lieutenant Leafstalker, but anyway, what's your favorite like guard model? Also, what's your favorite just game model, enemy model? I like Scarecrows, Jack-o'-lantern Scarecrows, and I like Erudite guards. What do you like? Tell me in the comments. Also, leave a super thanks. That'd be cool. $2. Everybody that watched, if everybody that watched the channel just did $2 once a month, we would be set. That'd be cool. Like Christopher Kenny, like Bo Lees, like Trey, like Chad. Cool dudes. That'd be sick. It don't even cost that much. $2? I would do that if I watched somebody and they were like playing the game I like and they just need it. They had like I don't know. I gotta make another video today. I need to wrap this up, don't I? This Scarecrow one, I was kind of like I don't know. I didn't think it was like super interesting, but it's a good camp. So I tried to make it interesting with my commentary. Sometimes you got to do that. That's why it's like this YouTube thing isn't as easy as it seems type of deal. Because you could play the game. You could be good at the game. You could do cool stuff in the game. But if your commentary sucks, you know, it's kind of like the D&D podcast. You gotta have the right balance of fighting, the right balance of backstory and banter and investigating and whatever. And then you gotta have the right amount of like knowing the rules, talking about the rules, and a little bit of comedy, whatever. But you can't have like a mess of all of one thing and none of the other or whatever. So you can be like really good at the game, but you could just have a crappy personality and not be able to do commentary or something. Or you could have really good personality and you suck at the game, or you play it like WoW or something. You like the hero's journey, or I don't know why I always like I gotta kick it every once in a while. Stupid game. Just joking. But Monsters and Memories, huh? Are we gonna play that? I might. My whole excuse for not playing Quarm and TLPs and Monsters and Memories was because of my crappy laptop. And now I don't have that anymore. I actually have an okay, good laptop. So I need to investigate that. Man, I was trying to find like I thought I got up close to one of these to get a good thumbnail. All right, I'm going to sell. So that's pretty much it for this one, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed. I got really close to level 15. Next one's going to be the Warrens. Let's finish that up real quick. So you go to Kanos, the long dock in front of the Mermaid's Lure. You get on the boat. You go to Arud's Crossing. You don't get off. You stay on. You go to Arudin. You wait on the boat. A shuttle comes. You get on the shuttle. That takes you to Arudin. Then Arudin's really easy. Like, when I first started my cleric, my Erudite Cleric, just for the starting A series, it was kind of confusing to get around Erudin, but it's really not that confusing. Like, there's teleporters, so it's kind of weird, but once you figure out the teleporters, it's like a really easy city to get around. Then you go to Toxilia, and you kind of basically do left wall strats. That takes you to the water. You cross the water, continue to do left wall strats. That takes you to the Necromancer City. You're going to see this in the video. I don't know. I'm just telling you how I got there. I bound at the Druid Rings near the merchant there. There's a merchant at the Druid Rings. And then you do left wall strats. You go past the skeletons, you zone. Then to the left again. It's pretty much just all left wall strats until you see a couple of guards. And you're like right outside the newbie area. Then you do right wall strats, and then it's on the left. And that's the Warrens. But I'll show you in the next video. That'll be the Warrens, where I do ding 15, and we creep and we crawl around in a dungeon again, like Blackburrow, which I think is really fun. What should be the next place that I go after the Warrens? I'm thinking Kara Isle, maybe a Roots Crossing, High Hole or High Pass, maybe. I forget what else I was talking about other than those. There's like another little dungeon. But anyway, that's it for this one. Like, share, subscribe, consider joining. It helps a lot. Tell your good about the channel, comment below. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.